Denver Mayor Mike Johnston, wow, he was forced to do a press conference yesterday because he has to explain why Denver has a $250 million deficit. And Denver cannot pay its bills. Denver is also forced to furlough employees. You're going to have to just take days off and you're not getting paid for it. It's terrible. It's not just mismanagement of money. That's too soft a term. It's not mismanagement. It is straight up theft. We warned you. We warned you. And now Mike Johnston has to explain to people why this trust fund kid from Vail with his skinny pants has driven the city of Denver into a complete and total economic Armageddon and set taxpayer money on fire. So he has this press conference and he says, oh, it's probably going to get worse. The city of Denver has come through other very challenging times, and we're going to pull back together, and we're going to do this and we're going to do that. But it's probably going to get worse before it gets better. Yeah, okay there, skinny pants, Mikey. I don't believe you. And the people of Denver don't believe you. These stupid donors put all of this money behind this fool, and he has done nothing but watched the crime rates increase in this city and I remember there was a big welcome sign at the courthouse downtown Denver that said, "We love immigrants." Huge sign. You could see it for miles. Everybody saw it. That was in 2021, 2022. Because see, Mike Johnston saw the federal dollar signs. You start bringing all these people here and you can claim, it's an emergency. It's a national emergency, a city emergency. So he got some money from Joe Biden, but not nearly enough. And now this city is in the red by overall over $1.5 billion. And of course, he has gone begging President Trump for federal handouts. He also, in this press conference of his from yesterday, blamed all of these problems on President Trump, even though he has only been in office like 4 months. Not any blame on Biden or Harris or any of the previous administration for all of the problems with the letting all these illegal aliens in here and telling the sanctuary cities and states to house them, feed them, clothe them, give them dental care, give them free homes, free health care, free education, free scooters, free cars, whatever they need, get them registered to vote, get them driver's licenses, whatever you got to do to keep them happy, do it. And now look, this fool is begging for money because he stole $250 million to take care of foreigners. I remember also the homeless hotels. There's a hotel downtown Denver. I don't remember the street right off, but it's one of the Aloft hotels. They turned it into a homeless shelter back during the pandemic. I remember going past that hotel because it's like a kind of a boutique hotel. I think it's under maybe Marriott hotels, but he turned it into a homeless hotel, bought the hotel out. And I remember seeing these walkers in the windows. I still have pictures. And I'm like, oh my gosh, they literally turned this into a homeless hotel. It has since gone back to profitability and getting all the homeless people out. The homeless people used to hang out in front of this damn hotel and rob people going in for conventions and different things like that, to the point where nobody wanted to have their convention here because it's not safe to walk the streets of downtown Denver. And it's still like that. The crime rate is through the roof, skyrocketed under Mike Johnston. And then, of course, You bring all these illegals here. I watched you put them on Auraria campus back in 2022. In 2023, I watched you put them on Auraria campus in June of 2023 when the students were graduating. You had to keep the illegals away from the students. You think I didn't see that when you shoved them in that church on Auraria campus? I went by and got myself a meal because I said, since I'm a taxpayer, I funded this meal because they were giving free food out to the illegals. I'm like, I'm eating. Sure did. Mike Johnston is literally blaming President Trump for what is happening in Denver, knowing that he spent $1.5 billion taking care of illegals. Brandon Johnson is having the same problem in Chicago. He's the lowest rated mayor in the country, 6% approval rating. He's not going to get reelected. Nobody's going to reelect him just because he's black. He thinks that's the answer to all his problems. How you going to fix the deficit? Black. How you going to clean up all the crime? Black. How are you going to help the citizens who are drowning in debt from all the high property taxes and the taxes from living in the city of Chicago? Blackity black on black, black up, down black. My wife is black. My dog is black. My couch is black. My shoes are black. And my face is black. Back to Denver. Mike Johnston, little Mikey, spent all that money on illegals, and now it's coming back to bite you in your skinny ass, just like I knew it, just like we all knew it. It's not Trump's fault, bro. You might as well forget that shit. No, this is all you. This is all you. You did this. You did this. Why don't you just go back to Vail?
Here's another episode of Karen Kennedy. Hoping to get her on soon. I thought maybe she might be able to do it this weekend, but it's not happening. All right. We'll move on to the next one. This is the best of Karen Kennedy 6, I believe. So
let's talk about this auto pen scandal, or as I like to call it, the DocuSign debacle. The federal government in several agencies uses DocuSign. DocuSign is interoperable and compatible with apps, software such as Adobe, PDF, things of that sort. So you can easily utilize your signature. It's already communicating in the digital space, and you can just sign digitally. It's very, very, very rare anymore that you will need a wet signature for anything. It does happen, but most of the time it's the quote auto pen, as the president likes to say. Now, what I want to talk about is Chris Wright went before the Senate Finance Committee, I think, and he was talking to Senator Kennedy about this issue of the auto pen. Well, not necessarily the auto pen, but it ties back to this. And he said that the 76 days between the time President Trump was elected and the time that he was sworn in, $93 billion went straight out the door, funneled through the Department of Energy to God knows where it went. Now, Joe Biden was incapacitated beyond belief. He was not in his right mind, as we are finding, and there's more proof every single day that he was probably incapacitated from way before the time that he was even installed as the resident, that he did not have his faculties. So this group of people were in the background signing, using DocuSign, or the auto pen as it were, to funnel $93 billion. I can't write a check in Walmart if it's not my signature. Basically, you know, no, who uses checks anymore? But I'm using it as an example. So who in the actual hell, who in blue hell signed Joe Biden's name to steal $93 billion from taxpayers. These bastards need to burn for what they have been doing. I saw somebody on Fox News recently said that, well, you know, maybe it's probably not a crime because the money had already been allocated by Congress. The money had already been passed through legislation by Congress. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. $93 billion. And there's no real trace of where the money went. We're not talking about $93. And they just, David Axelrod, they want you to just move on. Van Jones, they don't want you talking about Joe Biden now. We don't get to talk about him. That's $93 billion in taxpayer money. That $93 billion meant that American citizens had to suffer because of the enormous government spending that caused inflation in the market. So we had to pay more money for everything over the last 4.5 years because of this giant government spending constantly. Drove prices through the roof and put the debt on our books because we are the full faith and credit of the United States of America, let me tell you. Put all that debt on our books and the books of our children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren, way into the future. $93 billion, and it might not be a crime. Bull fucking shit, it's a crime. And it is a crime of the highest order. $93 billion, and you're telling me it might not, what? No, it's a crime. I don't care if Congress already approved the money to go out the door. I don't care. I don't care. The money did not, number one, did not go to where it was intended or asked for to Congress. And number two, that was not Joe Biden's signature. He did not sign. So we've got there are these people who are coming on the radar now. Anita Dunn is one of them. Come to find out, she's an absolute shitbag white liberal communist whose heroes are Mao Zedong, for one, and the other was, what'd she say, Gandhi or the Dalai Lama or something. I don't freaking know. I don't care. She's a supposed intellectual who thinks that she's better than you. And she gets to steal your money. There are 4 or 5 people who had access to the so-called auto pen. And she's one of them. Who is the bastard who signed away $93 billion? And they hurry up and got it out the door before Trump got in because they knew. They knew that he was going to want to see where that money went. Who touched that auto pen or the DocuSign? Who hit send after inserting Joe Biden's signature? Because that's the bastard that needs to go to fucking jail. This Memorial Day is to remember and honor those who have sacrificed for this great nation of ours, who made the ultimate sacrifice and who are no longer here with us physically, but they are always with us in spirit. And as you know, if you've watched me for any amount of time, I'm a military Gold Star widow, and I am I watched the ceremony this morning at the nation's capital, and I must say, I am so impressed that it's just, I'm really gonna try to make the one next year. So we are blessed and very fortunate to have President Trump as our commander in chief. And Pete Hegseth, fantastic speech. JD, our vice president, gave an absolutely spectacular speech. I'm going to have to listen to that over and over because he really just brought the house down. And our beloved president, thank you for honoring Gold Star families, and thank you for remembering soldiers who are in heaven looking down upon us. And really rooting for us to bring the golden age into fruition. And we're going to do it. We're going to do it because, see, you don't see things from my perspective. See, you Marxists, as President Trump in his very scathing Memorial Day message, which I appreciate 100% because he's absolutely correct. You nasty, disgusting, satanic, devil-worshipping Marxists, you think you're the patriots in this country, don't you? You think you're the patriots. You think whatever you do is justified because it's for you to destroy the republic that was built years and centuries before you came along to try to stick your foot in it and smash it in the ground. Everything you have put Donald Trump through, he has come through. Have you not got the memo yet that God has his hand on that man? And nothing you do is going to come to fruition. Everything you do is going to fail. You're a failure. All of you. You're a failure. You are not the patriots of this nation. You're not. You're in fact, you're so disgusting and hideous that you should never be in the public realm ever again. You are not the patriots. You get to go home to your shitty family. You get to have your husband or your wife. All of us don't have that luxury anymore. See, but you're still fighting to destroy the country. Resist Trump, resist. It's all gonna, you're failed. You're a failure. And because of our dedication to restore this nation to its greatness by God and under God, you're going to fail. Everything you touch is going to fail. I know you've been working toward this for 100 years, but I don't care. I don't care. Maybe you should have different goals, better goals that benefit this country. All you communists, you Marxists, you're going to be expelled from this. You're going to be expelled. You're going to get the fuck out of here because you're useless. All you do is destroy. You have destroyed people's lives. While today we are honoring the memory of those who came before you, who fought for you to destroy the nation that they fought to protect. You're not going to do it because we're not going to allow you to. I don't care who you send. I don't care what Democrat congressperson you send to try to do damage. Your job is supposed to be to protect this country, to work for your constituents, not to resist Donald Trump. That's not in the job description, asshole. This Memorial Day means a lot to me because President Trump is back at the helm where he belongs. We had 4 years of failure and a bunch of ass-shaking fairies running around at the Capitol, turning it into a rainbow nightmare. And now things are back the way they should be, where the grown folks are in charge and not a bunch of mental patients. You're not going to destroy this country. We are not going to allow you to, because God did not bring us this far to fail and to surrender this country to the likes of you. So thank you, President Trump. Thank you to, just thank you. I cannot tell you how much I appreciate you for remembering us and for honoring my husband's memory and the memory of those who have fought so long to keep this country free. Yeah. Another illegal alien criminal murders one of our citizens. I first heard the story from Anthony Aguero Live, and the story has been picked up by NBC5 in Dallas because it is tragic and horrific. Ava Marie Moore, a 19-year-old young lady who was kayaking in Grapevine, Texas, at a local lake, was minding her own business, kayaking, enjoying the Memorial Day weekend, and what happens? Some foreign illegal from Venezuela plows into her on a jet ski, kills her pretty much instantly. Those who saw the incident happen got, after they saw her thrown from the freaking kayak, probably halfway across the damn water, ran or swam out, got her, brought her to shore, tried to revive her, but to no avail. Obviously, she succumbed to the injuries, and yet another illegal alien from Venezuela murders one of our citizens. This is the kind of trash and disgusting filth that the crank far leftist activist Democrat judges are trying to keep here. I can't wait for the ACLU to try to file a lawsuit to say that this hoe was not given her due process. She's been charged with, they caught her because she left the scene of the crime. She got in the car with some dude, her and the other female, another illegal, and fled the scene. They got in a car and took off. Left that girl dead. Took off, no big deal. Your problem, figure it out. I'm getting out of here. She was probably on her way back to Venezuela, or at least Mexico, where she would have faded into obscurity. We wouldn't have known where that bitch is. But thank God the Dallas police caught this heifer. They had to coax her out of the apartment there in Dallas because through a tip, somebody recognized her. Her picture was all over the place. And it did not take very long for all of that to just go ahead and get wrapped up like it needed to. And do they have facilities in CCOT for females? Because we don't need any more fucking sex workers here. So the heifer needs to be hauled on up out of here. Her and her bitch ass friend. We don't need any more of them. She was probably here, no work permit, no visa, no nothing, just getting all kinds of welfare, food stamps, cash benefits, free healthcare, free Medicaid, free dental care, free housing, free car, free everything else, so she can come and murder one of our citizens. Ava. Do you know Ava Marie Moore, the one that she murdered, was going to, she had already just been accepted to be a candidate cadet at the U.S. Air Force Academy right here in Colorado Springs. She was going to be a graduate for the class of 2029. And she would have been an amazing woman. She was an athlete, played basketball, and the community loved her. And now we have to mourn for yet another one of ours because of these illegal alien criminals who have no business being here. And the Democrats just turn their noses up and go, You know why? Because it's not them. It's not their family members. They're not angel families. But now Ava's family is now an angel family because of this disgusting creature. Get this hoe on up out of here. We don't need her here. We don't get, send her to Mozambique. I don't give a fuck where you send her, but get her on up out of here. She should not even be allowed to stay in a prison in America. Because then the hoe might figure out how to become a citizen at some point in 10 years from now. No. Or have the ACLU trying to fight for her rights and her due process. What about Ava's rights? Say her name. Ava Marie Moore. Get this hoe on up out of here. Headline, Lancaster, South Carolina News. 6 charged with murder in Riverside Road death. Once again, more illegal aliens murdering American citizens. This time, the unfortunate soul is Larisha Sherelle Thompson, age 40, who was on Riverside Road, and she was murdered by 6 illegal aliens on the 2nd of May. I do not know who would justify this, but somebody found this story on X and sent it to me, and I don't have your name right now, but thank you very much. I appreciate that. And I'm going to, when I find your name, I'm going to give you a shout out, because this is yet another story. I just did a story yesterday on Ava Marie Moore, and her being murdered by 2 Venezuelan illegal aliens. 2 were on a jet ski, and 1 drove the getaway car because the bitch fled the scene. And both of them were caught, and they are not getting out of jail. So they're not getting out of jail. And now it's happening again. And this is South Carolina, so they're not getting out of jail either. 6 of these, 3 are adults, 3 are underage. All of them are subject to removal. They all have removal orders on them. And all 6 of those arrested or detained are subject to removal from the United States under federal immigration law based on their immigration status. The U.S. Department of Homeland Security, that would be Kristi Noem, has placed immigration detainers on these individuals with the Lancaster County Detention Center and the South Carolina Department of Juvenile Justice.
And you can see all the liberals having a fit today. All the protests, and they're doing more in protesting. They're rioting, basically. National Guard is going to L.A. Tomorrow, I guess. They'll start arriving tomorrow. It'll probably be a couple days before they fully get in there. They're trying to crank it up, trying to make it so that they're basically keeping their voters here. The ones that we're paying for, all the illegals, and giving them all the freebies and everything. They're hurting all the regular people on their health care just so they can pay for theirs. Is what they're doing. It's really ridiculous. And then they're killing some people. And most of the people they're deporting, the illegals they're deporting, 95% of them have all done other crimes and that kind of stuff. There's only a few that aren't that way. And then some of them are crying, oh, so many years. I've been here so many years. You've been here so many years illegally. You had all that time to try to make it right? Not to mention the fact that you came in illegal to start with.
That is because she is working with sane people who live in a red state. If that had been Colorado in this blue hell, those 6 individuals would have gone quickly before a judge and arraigned and probably let out the back door, because that's how they do things here. They do not cooperate with federal authorities, and all federal agencies having to do with policing are working together for this gargantuan effort to get all of these illegal foreign nationals out of here, starting with the most violent. But eventually, we're getting to everybody. You gotta go. You're a drain on the system. You are a scourge on the earth. You are a menace to society. You keep killing our people. We can't keep you here. You all we do is pay for your life, and all you do is laugh at us and make TikTok videos about how much money you're getting thanks to taxpayers. You got to get the fuck on up out of here, all of y'all. Okay. And additionally, who is going to speak for Larisha Sherelle Thompson? She's black, by the way. So that's 2 in a row. And there are others, but these are just very recent. Where are you, NAACP? Where are you, Congressional Black Caucus? I haven't heard not one word. Wait a minute. Hold up. Where is all of the black politicians who went to New Jersey to that ICE facility? Where is McIver? Where is what is her name? Shanquavia McIver. There in New Jersey. Throwing her gut all over the place and knocking ICE agents out with her gut. The hell? Where is she at? She has not said one word about Ava Marie Moore or about Larisha Thompson. Not one fucking word from these black politicians. Where you at, Spartacus? Where y'all at? Where are you? All these black politicians who have been working tirelessly to support illegal aliens who don't give a shit about you and who laugh at you and think they're better than you. They don't care if you're a sitting member of Congress. You're black. They think they're better than you. And you're just working overtime to support them, to make sure they don't get deported. Where you at, Hakeem Jeffries? Where you at, Jasmine? Where you at, Jasmine Shaquita Crockett? How come you have not said nothing about Miss Larisha? But let it be somebody from freaking Guatemala, and your black ass does not shut up. Oh, but because it's a FBA and a sister who was murdered by 6 illegal aliens who did a drive-by and shot this woman on her way home who was minding her own business. These 6 bastards had just conducted a robbery. They had just broke into a store and they saw her on a dark road on her way home and just sprayed the car. Where you at, NAACP? Huh? Where are all the black leaders? What a disgusting... You people make me... You're so despicable. You're so despicable. Don't you ever go up in a black church whining about how you're oppressed. Get the fuck out of here with that Fugazi. So-called Mayor Mike Johnston said that there are no tent encampments in Denver. This is actually right outside of Denver, maybe 5 to 7 minutes west of Denver. And this is Lakewood, but I will show you that there are encampments right around the Home Depot. Well, would you look at that? Would you look at that? Those are American citizens, by the way, because, you know, Mike Johnson took excellent care of illegals. Let me go around to the other side here so you can see that there are no encampments. There are no, remember, keep that in mind, just like he said, I just showed you tent encampments that are still popping up all over the place. Yep. Lakewood, where the median home price is somewhere around $650,000. We are right by the Home Depot here on Colfax, and what do we see? What are these encampments? Is this an encampment? Yeah, it is. So Mike Johnston is full of shit. Peace out. It has been almost 300 days since Gold Star mother Tina Peters was put behind bars for crimes that were committed by those who made sure she was locked up to keep their dirty, nasty little secrets. So, cast of characters, the usual suspects. You got Jenna Griswold, who is the Secretary of State, who is trying desperately to hide all of her crimes. And, oh yeah, by the way, she's running to be the Attorney General for the state of Colorado. Isn't that interesting? After all of these years, 6 years, I believe it was 6 years that she's been in there of complete and total failure and failing the people of Colorado. And next, the other cast of characters, Phil Weiser, who is the current Attorney General, who is running to fail up for governor of the state of Colorado so he can continue to turn Colorado into California and truly bankrupt the state, have illegals running around everywhere, and homeless people all up along the Front Range. Congratulations. So, these fucking goofballs have sat and laughed and smiled while Tina Peters has been rotting in prison. And it's very interesting that during the time that Tina Peters was being persecuted back in October of last year during that kangaroo court, the BIOS passwords, over 600 of them, incidentally, were left open on the Secretary of State's website in a nice little folder that said, read me, read me, read me. 4 months. Those passwords were open. That was her office. You want to have the title? You want to have the money and the prestige and all the perks that come along with it? Then you own it, bitch. You did it. You did it. At the end of the day, you are responsible for it. So, Tina Peters was the Mesa County clerk. That's Grand Junction, Mesa County, where she took she saw something very strange that concerned her, and they accused her of stealing passwords. It's just the damnedest thing. They literally have 600 passwords open on the net for everybody in the world to see. But they said that she stole these passwords and she got into a system and she caught the images in live time that were supposed to be kept on record for 2 to 5 years, I do believe it is. But they were trying to do what they called a trusted build to wipe everything clean, but Tina Peters caught the information before they wiped it. Woo, they got hot mad. So that's why she's sitting in prison. They gave her a 9-year sentence. So for one password, 9 years, what does that mean for you, Jenna? You had 600 open. Oopsie. So here's the thing. This is on the radar of the president. He has mentioned her by name. DC Drano on X has mentioned her by name several times and tagged Jenna Griswold in his posts. I save all those. Rogan Hadley, I do believe is his, Hadley is his name. He has said he will work tirelessly to make sure that Tina Peters is released. And with all of the recent pardons that are coming from the president's office, I'm very interested to see if this Gold Star mother is going to be on that list, because she is a national hero for what she did. I wish there were a million more just like her who were brave and stepped up and fucking did something. Okay? Hers may be one of the few records that anybody has that shows these machines are shit. They can do whatever remotely, even though they're not supposed to be hooked to the internet. They were. So Tina Peters, it is time for her to be released. And I have devout faith in God that he has not forgotten her, and that all of our prayers are being heard and they are answered. We just got to walk it out, y'all. I just want to keep reminding you that Tina Peters is still in prison, while those who put her there are still walking free. Things change, though, don't they?
She needs to come out. The problem is that it's a state charges and not federal, so Trump himself can't get it out of there. And, Colorado is so goddamn corrupt. It's ridiculous. It's so left wing. So I'm hearing that the federal agents are deploying helicopters to assist control of the anti-ICE riots in Los Angeles. Trump Holman sending in National Guard, I guess, tomorrow. The next day they'll start coming in tomorrow. And that you gotta shut it down before they allow it to grow bigger, because it gets bigger. The left sees it as a priority. They put more money into it. That they're protecting their legal voting base. In fact, 190 House Democrats just voted for non-citizens, illegals, to get taxpayer funding. They're going to get more money on top of what they're getting for small business loans. In other words, and they probably wanted to pay them all back, that kind of stuff. The money belongs to the Americans, and someone, was it Colin, said something about a little while ago, the slagging of ICE and cheering on the rioters. Yeah, I did see that. Mayor Bass, they're going to fight all the allegincios or whatever, regardless of whether they got papers or not. Yeah. Democrats are paralyzing the illegals, prioritizing over Americans. Yep. Okay, let me go back to the video. Sorry.
What's up, you guys? How y'all doing? Happy Friday. Yeah. Wanted to rant about how I am seeing so many members of Congress, Democrat members of Congress, who now want to storm ICE facilities. I'm waiting for the ones in Colorado so I can show up there too and give them shit. Because y'all don't advocate for American citizens. Now, the directive from the president for ICE agents and for Tom Homan and for this mass deportation effort is now they've strategized, because the Democrats always try to find a way to whine and garner the support of the public. Wham, 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 woman with kids, wham, wham, wham. So then people feel like they got to stop doing what they're doing, even though these are criminals. So they strategized and said, okay, here we go. We're gonna go ahead and dismiss these cases, and then they become property of ICE because they've already gotten an ICE detainer because they done broke in the country like 5 or 6 times. Some of these individuals have horrendous, horrific criminal records, homicide.
And they've already said they're not going to let LAPD help ICE at all. They're not even going to come to their aid at all. They spent hours trying to get LAPD to come to help the ICE agents get out of there where they were getting trapped in there and stuff like that. So, in fact, one of the businesses raided that the business owner locked the gates so they couldn't get out. It was ridiculous this past week here in the last couple of days.
Carjacking, grand theft auto, burglary, grand larceny, dude, some of the rape of children. Why are y'all, you know what? I don't even give a flying flip why you protecting them, but whatever, do you, I guess. But there's too many congressmen and those who think they're supposed to just be let in the ICE facility so they can tour the facility to make sure all the drug dealers, the criminals, the child rapists, the sexual assault, the murderers, those who commit homicide, the grand larceny, and everything else, we got to make sure that they're being taken care of top notch. I don't ever remember seeing politicians touring prison facilities for American citizens to make sure they were treated right. And I know they haven't been treated right. I've heard about that. Okay? Now, You've got the crank far left media. I knew they were going to do it. The Jezebel, whore, Sodom and Gomorrah media could not wait to start pushing out these stories about, oh, this poor mother, she's being dragged out of court. Oh, there's ice raid. Oh, it's taking people who are just working. They're just working. They're just working. First of all, they ain't got no work permit because they here illegally, so they're getting paid under the table. So why is it that they get to take a job from an American citizen when American citizens need these jobs? Because of the horrendous Biden inflation over the last 4 years. Americans need those jobs. But see, y'all love your cheap labor, don't you? You love your slave ass labor. Y'all ain't nothing but a bunch of masses. Anyway, so you got ICE, who is showing up at these courtrooms after the case was dismissed, and then ICE picks them up. I don't recall any politicians helping American citizens when they're in courtrooms, because it happens across the country every single day in every city, municipality, and town and state. Every single day there is a woman who has children who is convicted of a crime, and a lot of times the judge slams down that gavel and homegirl is going to be taken straight to jail. CPS is going to pick up her kids that are sitting in the courtroom, and they're going to be in foster care until she figures out what she's going to do about her kids. Okay? It happens every day. I don't see any politicians working on their behalf. I don't see the ACLU. I don't see any immigrants' rights groups. I don't see the Civil Liberties Union. I don't see nobody standing on business for American citizens. I had a court case. Full disclosure, I had a crash last year, okay? A dude was sitting on his phone during work hours in his work truck, and he was supposed to be moving because the light was green. But I didn't see him because he was at the top of the hill, and I hadn't been over the top of the hill yet. So all of a sudden, it only took a half a second. There he was. He was on his phone. But guess whose fault they said it was? Anyway, that's why I'm in a rental. I don't see, my husband was a decorated military soldier. Okay, I'm a Gold Star widow. Nobody showed up for my black ass. Nobody showed up on my behalf. I don't remember seeing congresswomen from down there at the Capitol and the state legislators coming to advocate for me. I had to figure that shit. I just got done paying that city for their little blame game that only I had to pay for. He was on his phone, parked. He hadn't seen the green light. Whatever. So I don't remember seeing anybody. But y'all always want to just stomp the yard for illegals. Yeah, thank you. I called the wambulance. The wambulance is here. Come over here. Call the wambulance. I don't care about these illegal aliens who get caught when they have committed crimes. You commit crimes by coming over here illegally. Let me tell you something. Any and everybody who used the CBP One app to get here, you committed a crime. Dead ass. You committed a crime and you have no business being here. The American mothers, don't nobody care about them being taken straight to jail from court. Who advocates to help their children? Ain't nobody separating families. You notice they don't use that term anymore. That was popular in 2018, separating families. They don't use that term anymore. Why? Because Tom Homan's sending them all back together. Ain't nobody separating you. You can take your kids, honey. We don't want them. We ain't separating nobody. Y'all can all go back. I find it fascinating that American taxpayers pay the salaries of these politicians, and the only people that they stomp the yard for are illegal foreign nationals who can't vote for them.
Because they're being replaced. And you're right, John. They'll try to get Holman if they can. They'll try. Just like they're going to try to get Trump somehow. One way or another, they're going to try to get him out.
Breaking by Colin Rugg on X. The Supreme Court has allowed the Trump administration to revoke the legal status granted by the Biden administration to 500,000 immigrants, illegals, according to NBC. So liberal Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson fumed about the decision, saying, quote, the devastating consequences of allowing the government to precipitously upend the lives and livelihoods of nearly 500,000 non-citizens while their legal claims are pending. This was a 7-2 ruling. Hold on, Ketanji Brown Jackson. And the other one of the two was, of course, Sonia Sotomayor. Hold on, Ketanji Brown Jackson. I don't recall you having some sort of support or opinion about American women who had to go to prison because they committed crimes. Oh, like one that President Trump pardoned, Miss Alice, I think her name is Alice Marie Johnson, who spent 30 years in prison for something she did when she was like 16, 17 years old. I think she had children. Who, she had already had children who were grown by the time she got out of prison. I don't remember you saying anything about American people, American citizens who commit crimes and go to prison, upending the lives of non-citizens. Why are you stomping the yard as an FBA? If you are, because see, I'm finding a lot of y'all are just tethers. Why are you stomping the yard for illegals like this, Ketanji Brown Jackson? There are black women and women who are American citizens who are sitting in prison, who have children, and their lives have been upended by prison. I don't hear you saying one word in their defense. Nothing. There are all types of prison reforms going on in this country, and you say nothing about Americans.
John, I think you're right. There probably will be some ICE agents killed. What'll happen about that? I don't know. I think still the mayors will, it's their voting base to them, because they can get that vote so easy and keep it. They don't even have to fight to win the elections. They automatically win, and they can keep milking money out of our system, money laundering.
Citizens. I am just baffled by the level of support that is being provided and afforded to those who are unlawfully present in this country. But when it comes to our citizens, you let them rot in prison with no support, no advocacy groups, and nothing else. But let's not bury the lead here. The Supreme Court decided that the CHNV, those from Cuba, Venezuela, Honduras, and I think it's Cuba, Nicaragua, Venezuela, and Honduras, they do not have Biden's temporary protected status anymore. It was set to expire anyway. It was only a 2-year program. And see, they thought that either Biden or Harris were going to be reinstalled and that they were going to be able to just get it extended. They're not. And see, now you're all going to be up for deportation because you came here illegally. Anybody who used the CBP1 app to get here, you are up for deportation because you came here illegally. I hate it for you. The Biden administration lied to you. They all lied to you. They gave you all this money because they needed you to vote for them to keep them in office, but that's not how that's not how we rocking and rolling anymore. So you're getting up out of here, because President Trump has given the directive that these deportations need to be ramped up. And it's not just going to be those who commit homicide and rape and murder and vehicular homicide and everything else. It's going to be everybody. We cannot keep 50 million people up in here anymore. Y'all got to go. You have driven the housing market out of control, because y'all are the ones who are occupying the homes, because y'all are the ones who have been getting all the benefits and the grants to move into homes that should be occupied by American citizens. So them getting out of here, there are going to be benefits that we are going to start to see immediately. The hospital systems are not going to be overburdened anymore. You're going to be able to get an appointment because you don't have to be behind 75 million illegal aliens who got their appointments ahead of you because they get prioritized. You're not going to have to wait for and have the highest prices on earth to get into a hotel anymore because they bought up the entire hotels to accommodate illegal aliens. You're going to be afforded the opportunity to get a job now, because these people are getting on up out of here. You see the raids at the construction sites because the entire construction site is full of illegals, and these companies know they've been hiring illegals and they have not cared. But see, this shit is getting handled now. Things are going to change for the better. And just to wrap this up, the temporary protected status for those from Cuba, Venezuela, Honduras, and Nicaragua is over. Use the CBP Home app, get the $1,000, and get the hell on up out of here. Have a nice day.
She's right. Boy, the thing is, how are they going to get them all out of here that quick? And the other thing is, they do asylum, but you're supposed to go to the next country next to you. You know, the next country next to you. You're not all supposed to go to America. Like, say you're way over in the Middle East, you're supposed to go to the next country next to you. If you want asylum, that's where you're supposed to go. You're not supposed to ship them all here with all these NGOs and ship them all in. It's ridiculous. It's a money thing. They're trying to ruin America because they want to end capitalism and they want a socialist world government, one world order.
There's something going on here within the Trump administration, and I'm gonna give you my hot take on this. There's two things. Number one, they are trying to get you concerning the mass deportations. President Trump is adamant that these deportations need to increase and they need to happen now. These crank far left activist judges thought that they could stop what's coming. They can't. They can't. President Trump is well within his Article 2 authority to delete and evict these people from this country. They have to go. Okay. The judicial, ultimately, it will be decided. They do not have the authority to supersede the president, especially with invoking the Alien Enemies Act of 1798. The Supreme Court has already issued the decision that he is well within his Article 2 powers to utilize the Alien Enemies Act, and he is. Excuse you. But these individuals living in Colorado, I can tell you, they took over entire communities. It was not just apartment complexes. They took over entire communities. Everything changed because of them being here. We got used to seeing people running up to your car with bottles full of what, I don't even know what was in them, squeeching on your window to clean your windows. We had never had that shit before, ever in this state. We also got used to seeing a bunch of people with no tags, no plates at all, no identifying documents or identifying anything on the vehicle they were driving. And it was just constant everywhere, all the time. It has greatly decreased because the authorities have been given the green light to start pulling these people over. So I still see them, but not as much. But this state particularly had an administrative body from the governor's office down to the state legislature and down to the city, county, and municipal police departments, who absolutely vehemently denied that there was a Venezuelan prison mercenary gang that took over the community of Aurora, Colorado. They denied it, including the mayor of Denver, who is responsible for a lot of those individuals migrating to Aurora. They denied it. They said that it was it was a figment of our imagination. And these people are running for higher office after lying to us like that. These individuals caused violence, irreparable damage to businesses, irreparable damage and harm to the people who live here. We just had that case of that individual who was doing 90 miles an hour in a freaking Jeep and ran over an American citizen and kept going, took off. No tags, no plates, no nothing. And thank Christ, ICE found these individuals, and because the judge in Arapahoe County had just, oh, well, you can just go with community service after killing a girl. You can just go community service because he's an illegal alien from Venezuela. Just community service. But ICE got him. And now him and his entire freaking family is getting the fuck on up out of here. Deported where they belong. Get out! Get out. No, you are not welcome here. So you're gonna have to get used to seeing females going and being put in vehicles to be taken and processed and removed from this country. And rest assured, nobody is separating families. They are going to have their children with them. Okay? So you don't have to worry about separating families. That is the one thing, is the Trump administration and the federal authorities who are working together, state and local, are working together now on this effort, despite the state of Colorado and this dumb Senate bill that the governor supposedly signed that said that the authorities in Colorado don't have to cooperate with ICE. That squishy fat loser is going to meet his demise. His political career is over. And the state of Colorado, for some reason, is full of retarded, freaking narcissistic communists who think that they are untouchable. I can't wait for it to be proven that they're not. So you're going to have to get used to these people being taken away because they committed crimes. I don't care if you're a mother. I don't care who you look. We have American mothers who get arrested when they commit crimes and nobody cries about it. So that's one thing. Number two is, I believe, this is my tinfoil hat moment, I believe they are getting people used to mass arrests. Stay with me for a second. They are getting people used to seeing mass arrests. Those who have committed heinous crimes, who have gotten away with it for many years, including you politicians, they are getting people used to seeing mass arrests. And it's going to be like an episode of Bad Boys on Fox.
It'd be nice if a lot of more of the Bidens and Clintons and all of them that really need to go. Even Obama, a bummer.
Fox. Bad boys, what you want, what you gonna do? They are getting you used to your psyche, just like they got people used to masks and seeing everybody in masks. That wasn't an American thing. We used to see that all the time in China and nobody blinked twice and nobody cared until it came here. And communist China tried to come here with forcing masks on people, but people got used to it. So now you're going to get used to seeing people carted off because of the crimes that they commit. Why do you think there's all these disclosures now? It's going to be 0, nothing, and then flood. So give Kash Patel a hot minute. Give Dan Bongino a hot minute. They have not even been in there 4 months. I'm telling you, these individuals are, I'm not going to be a nihilist. I'm not going to be a black pill. I'm just going to wait and see. And I think you should too. But looking at these arrests and these ICE arrests, they are getting people used to seeing people carted away who commit crimes. So that when these politicians who have been committing crimes and stealing $93 billion and trillions of other dollars with the auto pen, you're not going to have no qualms about it. I'm telling you, this is my tinfoil hat moment. They're getting you used to mass arrests.
I thought I'd bring this over here and show everyone this. What's missing in this? Watch what's missing in this. What's everyone not see in this picture? All white and ice, right? It's not one American flag. All these foreign flags, not one American flag. Isn't it ridiculous? Oh, let me go on to the next video. Hold on, where was I here? I think I was on this one. Let's see. Yeah, okay.
Yet another terror attack occurred on American soil, this time in my backyard, by this Mohammed Soleimani. One dude with Molotov cocktails setting people on fire. He knew where to go. He knew it was Boulder, Colorado. It's a soft target. These people are idiots. That was a gun-free zone, of course. Do you think that shit would have happened in Hatchetchubby, Alabama? Psh. No. Boulder, lily white, liberal, kook-tard capital of the freaking country. You ain't nothing but food. So he throws Molotov cocktails at these innocent people who were praying in recognition of the 7th of October victims who were systematically murdered by Hamas. And they were praying for the release of the hostages that are still being held by Hamas. And he admitted to intending to kill Zionists. Those are his words. So it's premeditated assault or whatever he's being charged with. None of the people died, but they could have. These are all people in their 70s and 80s. They're just standing there praying, and apparently they've been doing this every week. So this isn't new. But this jackass and his shitty family has been squatting here in this country ever since they got here, likely under the Afghan program. Some heads are going to have to roll for this. Okay? I was still in the federal government when the Afghan program started after the surrender of Afghanistan back to the Taliban and Abbey Gate, which is the military base that the American soldiers built. So if you remember the videos, if not, go back and look at them, with these people falling off the edges, the wings of the plane, and these plane loads full of foreigners on their way here. I remember how horrified I was because I knew they were coming here. So now they're still here. There are still many of these individuals who are still here. They need to leave. So Soleiman's daughter just graduated high school at a international sort of charter school there in Colorado Springs. That's right in my damn backyard. DHS Secretary Kristi Noem confirms that his family has all been rounded up, and they got their damn due fucking process, liberals. Don't you say one word. Nothing. Nothing. No, you're muted. They got their due process. They're getting the hell on up out of here. So his daughter, he was planning this attack. He's been planning it for almost, or for a little over a year. He said he wanted to wait until after his daughter graduated. So she graduated just recently, and he carries out this attack, throwing Molotov cocktails at innocent people who are praying for others who were brutalized by Hamas, the group he supports. And by the way, he yelled "Free Palestine." But you know, the Boulder police, who are pretty much Keystone cops, and the crank fart left, horror is Sodom and Gomorrah media in Colorado, like 9 News, said, oh, you know, it's too early. We're not calling it a terror attack. Then right after, oops, it's a terror attack. What are you missing? So this fool and his family has been living on taxpayer money, probably in a big, beautiful home in Colorado Springs, because they had like 5 kids. They getting, you know, food stamps, free medical care, free everything. And their daughter, you know, she was on her way to UCCS, University of Colorado, Colorado Springs, or CU Boulder. She had been accepted at both of those colleges and universities. So, you know what? She needed to get her monkey ass on up out of here, because she wouldn't have done nothing but become a campus radical and cause trouble, just like the foreigners on Columbia campus and other universities, Harvard and everywhere else, who have been terrorizing Jewish students. Look, you don't get to come here and terrorize students at Jew, Asian, black, white, I don't care who they are. You don't bring your foreign ass over here after we're being nice to you, and you're probably getting financial aid and getting everything paid for, and then have an ungrateful ass fit. Americans are going to have to realize that we got to stay the hell up out of these ancient grievances. These are battles between the sons of Abraham, the sons of Ishmael, who are the Arabs, and the sons of Isaac, who are the Israelites. This is ancient fighting. Your Boulder liberal ass is not going to be what brings these people to the table of peace. They ain't gonna be at peace until Jesus returns. People need to stop messing around with these people and let them scrap it out. Do what you're gonna do. So this Solomon is one of many who are still in Colorado and in other parts of this country. They need to go back to where they came from. They clearly have views that do not align with ours. And until American politicians are ready to accept that and act upon it, this is going to continue to happen. We still got a bunch of those people who came in here through Afghanistan. They got on those planes. We don't know who those people were who piled on those planes. There were too many of them. It was too chaotic that day. And there wasn't just one flight. There were several flights on giant C-130s getting the hell up out of Afghanistan through Abbey Gate. We don't know who they were. The American citizens were not on those flights. They called for 2 years trying to get Biden and Harris to get them out of there, and it fell on deaf ears. We don't know who's here. These are sleeper cells. This shit's about to get ridiculous. News 4 USA headline: 6 illegal migrants charged in murder of South Carolina woman, quote, defies any sense of decency. Yes, 6 illegal aliens aged 16 to 22, all from Venezuela, all illegal, who came here under Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, and that little pathetic wimp, Alejandro Mayorkas. You are all at fault. The blood is on your hands. Yes. Lancaster, South Carolina, just last month, 6 illegal aliens arrested, and they have been charged as of today with murder. in the shooting death of Larisha Thompson. I made another video about this when I first found out about this because I'm bringing awareness to it. Where are all of the black people? Where are all of those who run on campaigns of supporting the interest of black people? I only bring this shit up because y'all made everything about color and race since you got your tether Obama, the Kenyan nightmare, and everything's about race and color for you people. So I'm going to throw it back in your face every chance that I get. And now seems to be a really good time that you are not mentioning that 6 illegal fucking aliens who should not have been here gunned down an innocent black woman who was minding her own business. And you have zero to say? Because, what was her name? Lucretia McIvy, the one in Jersey, or was it Jersey, I think? The one who was using her belly as a weapon to accost ICE agents at the ICE facility 3 weeks ago, got arrested for protecting illegal foreign national criminals like these. Imagine that. And she's black, by the way. And there were like 2 other black folks who were at the ICE facility protecting illegal aliens. Not black folks, because you don't show up at court cases of black folks. You could care less, but you sure want those votes. Where you at, NAACP? Where are you, Congressional Black Caucus? Where are you, blackity black on black in the Operation Push and the Rainbow Coalition? Where are y'all at? Where are you at, Jesse Jackson? Where you at, Whoopi Goldberg, Al Sharpton? Where are all of the so-called black leaders? Where you at, pretending to be black Sonny Hostin, who always is perpetually offended by every fucking thing on earth? Where are you people? I haven't heard them say one word about Larisha Thompson. So, the sheriff's office said during a press conference, officers responded to reports of a stopped vehicle in the middle of the road to discover Larisha Thompson, 40, dead from a gunshot wound. Investigators uncovered evidence from the scene linking that shooting to the same firearm used in a recent burglary incident. So they tried to rob her first, and then they shot her. And those who claim to be black leaders have absolutely nothing to say about it. I find that offensive. God bless Larisha Thompson's family. So, more of the Democrats and their desperate X syndrome. This time, what are they doing? They are sending Eric Swalwell in a trucker cap to talk to the American citizens now. Oh, now you need American citizens and not illegals. Interesting. About this, that, and the other. But he sits down with Charlemagne for a supposedly candid conversation. Look, the Democrats hope that you've forgotten 2022. They hope that you've forgotten about what actually happened. But see, I'm going to let this play, and I'm going to remind you what actually happened during that time, because Eric Swalwell is full of shit.
Why should we ever trust the Democratic Party after they lied to us so long about President Biden? And I'm big on this because I just read the original sentence. I'm just like, I don't see. I think that Democrats have tried every strategy except for 2 things: honesty and courage.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of people who are courageous right now in the Democratic Party. Our bread and butter issue, our dance with the one that brought you, is healthcare. People have always trusted us on healthcare. That's our issue from President Johnson to President Obama to when Donald Trump tried to take it away. That's how we won the House in 2018. And now this reconciliation bill is going to take 14 million people off their healthcare. We're not only going to protect healthcare, because I think protecting healthcare is not enough. We need to invest in cures. And these motherfuckers are firing cancer doctors. A real clean contrast. We're for cures, they're for cancer, right?
I can't. Hold on. I can't. This moron, this son of a bitch. Okay, hold on. I was in HHS in 2022, and I remember very, very distinctly the unwinding program that was initiated by Joe Biden or the auto pen or whoever. But this was a COVID era protection of people who applied for Medicaid. You couldn't turn anybody down. So everybody was on freaking Medicaid. It was too gargantuan. They needed to unwind and disconnect from all of these people, and they needed to unwind them off of Medicaid. I was there for that. I was in the meetings with region partners to try to communicate to the members of the communities, hey, you need to go and fill out your paperwork for the transition from federal to the states. There's not going to be any more guarantees of Medicaid. I was there for that. Eric Swallowswell is full of absolute shit. There was, during that time in 2022, article after article after article after article concerning Joe Biden throwing people off Medicaid. All these millions of people have lost Medicaid. They already lost Medicaid. Millions of people were kicked off Medicaid during the Biden administration, and they are hoping that you forgot. They are trying to say, oh, Trump is going to do this, and he's going to kick you off Medicaid, and they're trying to scare people to think that, oh, it's Trump who's kicking you off Medicaid. It has not happened, has it? Unless you're an illegal fucking alien and you don't belong getting American taxpayer benefits anyway. It's against the law for foreign nationals who are illegally present in this country to get federal benefits of any kind. So Eric Swallowswell now is trying to say, oh, we're for cures. We're for cures. Really? You were one of the ones who was the main mouthpiece for the COVID-19 jabs. You were the main ones telling people to go get the shot, go get the shot, go get your booster, go get your booster. All you freaking Democrats, all of you. You all pushed people to go get your booster. You're killing grandma if you don't go get your shots. You're for cures, you stupid son of a bitch. You're not for cures. Really? Bobby Kennedy is for cures. You people have stood by while food has been riddled with chemicals and color dyes that cause cancer all these years, and you said nothing. The FDA approved this shit, and it hasn't even been questioned until Bobby got here. And now you say you're the one for cures? You I can't stay. Now, Eric Swalwell, I see you're spending a lot of time with Jasmine Crockett now. What, you're done with Chinese takeout and now you want chocolate? You think I don't know what you're doing? Eric Swalwell is a shitbag. All of these Democrats who are talking about and trying to scare you into thinking that it's Trump who's going to throw you off Medicaid. He's not throwing you off Medicaid. Joe Biden actually did throw people off Medicaid in 2020 freaking 2. I was there for it. Stop listening to Democrats. Stop voting for them. They are in desperation mode. They are sending a dude who put rainbow shit all over social media and who has been supporting nothing but illegals and trannies. Now they need him to be a man. God, dog. Eric Swalwell. Jeez. That's not going to work. I'm not going to let you get away with that.
Marianne, I agree with you. I got a couple other things here. I wanted to show everyone about the brick thing. Let me see if I can enlarge it here. They're shipping cement blocks and stuff in and breaking them up there so they can throw them at the cops and the ICE agents and all that. They're trying to injure them. They're trying to make it slow down and stop everything. So Trump has signed sending 2,000 troops in, block them. See, they've already been throwing a lot of them. Earlier, they were breaking a lot of the other stuff, cement up with a sledgehammer so they could get pieces of stuff to throw at them. You can't say that wouldn't injure the cops. Well, actually, not the cops defending them. It's ICE agents and some FBI. Unbelievable. I got another clip here that you want to see. They want the left likes this summer of love, right? They want that all again. Unbelievable. And then I'm going to change to this other one here, quick. They tried to assassinate a leader, Honduras, I believe it is. He's definitely a conservative, and so they try to kill him here. The Colombian presidential candidate. I guess he's a conservative.
Segundo, salud mental. El principal problema en Bogotá, en Colombia. Segundo,
he has a chance of winning down
salud
there.
mental. El principal problema en
And the
Bogotá,
globalists do not want that to happen.
Segundo, salud mental. El principal problema
So
en Bogotá, en Colombia. Segundo, salud mental. El principal problema en Bogotá, en Colombia.
He's in critical condition now. So if another Trump-like person in some of these other nations tries to win, they're killing him. This person's in critical condition, probably won't even make it. Let's see if it, yeah, right-wing Colombian candidate. Let me enlarge this. He doesn't look too good. And it sounds like he got shot more than once in the head. These globalists cannot have any more leaders side with Trump. Globalists are losing control, and they're like a cornered rat, you know? They're like a cornered rat. Let me see if there's any more to this. Let's see. I think that's the same video. I don't think that he's going to make it, I'll tell you the truth. No, there's any more there to that. Let me close that, and I'll get back to my videos. Hold on. So, anyways.
Hakeem Jeffries, or Timu Obama,
I'll pop in
as
if
he
there's
is
anything
famously
more on
called,
it.
threatened ICE agents. He is threatening to dox ICE agents at a press conference. He talked about Jerry Nadler and the raid, ICE raid on Jerry Nadler's office because of some nefarious shit going on with his staffers. Let me tell you something. Do you know what's happening right now? This is pre-Civil War. This is the white liberal Dixie Democrats and their black porch walkers and all those who work for them fighting a civil war to keep their slaves. Gotta have them slaves to work the plantation. Except this time it's not the black slaves, it's the Central American, South American, and Mexican slaves, and slaves from all across the world. They are fighting tooth and nail to keep their slaves. They would die to keep their slaves. We've already seen the lengths that they are willing to go to. They have been getting arrested. They had that judge in New Mexico who was harboring an illegal. He's been banned from any legal practice. He's banned from the bench. You had that Hannah, whatever her name is, letting an illegal alien out the back judge's access door to protect him from ICE. Hannah Dugan. These people are ruining their careers for illegal aliens. This is some bizarre, wild shit. All that I can think of is they are fighting to keep the slaves on the plantation. And to those who have gone off the plantation, they're trying to bring them back. They realize they let too many of them get away, and they are fighting to keep their slaves. That is the only thing that makes any kind of connection with seeing so many Democrat politicians willing to be jailed, court-martialed, subpoenaed, killed. They don't care. They won't fight for American citizens, but they will fight for their illegal aliens that they consider to be their constituents. I'm gonna need you to remember that in the midterms coming up in 2026. Remember how all these Democrats fight tooth and nail to protect illegal aliens who can't vote for them. Remember that. Do not forget. This is the new Civil War. This is it. This is the new Civil War. They are fighting a civil war to keep their freaking slaves. Once a Democrat, always the same damn thing. They have not changed one bit. This video is just to thank ICE for what you are doing. Thanks to Border Patrol, thanks to Tom Homan, thank you to President Trump for initiating these actions that have resulted in the arrest and detainment of criminal illegal aliens across this country. Thank you to members of ICE for what you are doing, for putting up with this bullshit from these retarded fucking liberals. Everywhere you go, these ugly, fat, disgusting, smelly losers who do nothing all day but scratch their ass and play freaking video games have the nerve to get in front of real men and women who are doing what they have been hired to do. Did you know, you fucking liberals, that ICE also partners with other federal agencies to rescue children who have been victims of sex trafficking? Did you know that? No, you didn't. And even if you did, you would rather protect criminal aliens who rape and murder the same children than to protect the children themselves, because Orange Man bad no matter what. Thank you, ICE, for putting your lives on the line. Thank you to your families who are at home waiting for you, because I know what it's like for your husband not to ever come home. Thank you for what you are doing. Ignore these sumbitches. If I ever see it, you gonna know I'm there, because I'm going to have a fit on everybody who is protesting you doing your job. Godspeed, and thank you again. I voted for this.
I did.
Shit on you, liberal.
I did too. She doesn't hold back. Hey, Greg, I do need to get you come on sometime soon. I'm seeing a lot and hearing a lot about Trump shutting down a lot of these illegal truck drivers driving for these companies. And these companies are trying to fight back against Trump because they want these illegal drivers that don't have any insurance and all that kind of stuff. They don't even have really driver's license, and somehow they're illegal aliens and they're driving for these truck companies. I don't know. You would know a lot more about it. So maybe you can come on later this week when you get time. I know you're out driving. So
this Mohammed Solomon issue is worse than you think. And I'll tell you why, is because we have a problem with over 8,000 terrorists being flown into America. They came up through the southern border, or they were directly flown in here in after August of 2021, when the Biden administration and the dumb goofballs at the State Department during that time, and DHS and everywhere else, this country was a mess, and it was being run by complete and total morons. So we have been stuck with these terrorists, and a lot of times they don't know where they are because they flew them in here after Afghanistan was surrendered to the Taliban, and Abbey Gate, the military base over there that we had built, the soldiers had built, was surrendered to China, to the Chinese Communist Party. And now we're stuck with all the illegal aliens from God knows where, and they all seem to hate America. Why would you invite people in your house who say, I hate you, and when you go to sleep, I'm going to cut your throat? Why would you do that? But that's Boulder, Colorado. Couple of things going on with Boulder. Back in 2021, 22-year-old Ahmad Aliwi Alisa, shot up a grocery store we call King Super in Boulder. What did they do? What was their response? Their little tagline was Boulder Strong. You're not strong. You're food. You're food for terrorists. Instead of handling this properly as they should, the weak-kneed Boulder PD and the city officials, the governor of Colorado, who has strong ties to Boulder, by the way, instead of these individuals handling this properly with force, with brute force, because this dude had just shot up 10 people, 10 souls gone, sent out of here early because Ahmad Alawi, whatever the hell, I just read it to you, I'm not doing it again, decided Allahu Akbar. They refused to ever call this a terrorist attack. Even to this day, they refuse. Do you know what one of the first things they did? They put him in a mental care facility because they wanted to care for the human being. We want to do, quote, we want to do everything we can to push ahead with this case, especially for the victims and the families. So seeing the doctors believe he'll be restored to competency in the foreseeable future was certainly a positive development. for the prosecution, but especially so the victims and the families, they're making progress with the defendant. Good to know. And there is a substantial probability that he'll be restored to competency in the reasonable future. Yeah. Instead of them deporting him or putting him straight into prison, he had just shot 10 people dead in cold blood. And Boulder put him in a mental health facility because somebody determined that he was not mentally capable of standing trial. So here we go again with the city of Boulder and their kooky ridiculousness. They're at it again. Here's a statement from the Boulder County Commissioners concerning the terror attack that took place on Sunday. The Department of Homeland Security website makes baseless claims without providing details. It uses inflammatory language likely designed to scare people and turn communities against one another. Oh. It describes human beings as, quote, illegal or, quote, criminal aliens. Oh my God. Oh my gosh. Oh. Which robs people of their humanity. Fucking bloody hell. Hold on. I ain't done yet. The Trump administration will not be successful in robbing the Boulder County commissioners or Boulder County residents of our empathy. Somehow, these bitch motherfuckers found a way to blame President Trump for an Egyptian illegal alien who tried to murder a Holocaust survivor and other Jews. These sanctimonious assholes in Boulder. Oh, I'm naming names. I'm naming them. Fuck them. If being a, quote, sanctuary jurisdiction means that we support due process of law and human rights, then we are proud of that moniker. This is the Boulder County Commissioners. And it is from, hold on, Claire Levy, Marta Lokeman, and Ashley Stoltzman. Yeah, here we go. White liberals. White liberal females. White liberal females. Always them. Always them. How many times do I have to say it? Boulder is food. That they don't even blame the fucking terrorist. They don't blame the jihadi. They blame President Trump. Fucking bloody hell. Oh my God. Letter incoming. They blame President Trump for calling this what it is, a terror attack. And yes, you ugly bitches, they are illegal. He is illegal. And he tried to murder people in broad daylight in your community, and you're blaming Donald Trump, who's in D.C. Got it. You know why you're food? Because you're soft. You're a soft target. All of you. The whole lot of you in Boulder, you're a soft target. This dude, Muhammad Solomon, lived in Colorado Springs. Colorado Springs is over 100 miles south of Boulder. 3.5, 4 hours, depending on traffic. Why did he come all the way to Boulder to commit this attack? Why did he go for peaceful protesters who were praying for victims of October 7th families and for the hostages that are still being held by Hamas? Why? Why would he do that? Why didn't he do it down in Colorado Springs? Why didn't he cut the fool in Colorado Springs? Oh, guess what? I'm glad you asked. I'm going to tell you why. Because Colorado Springs is full of conservatives who believe in the Second Amendment, bitch. And guess what? Before he would have got out the words free Palestine, he would have been on the ground bleeding out from his big fat gut. That's why. Boulder is food. Boulder is a soft target for terrorists, for jihadis. America has a problem. There are people who they brought here who fucking hate us. And when you have places like Boulder, Colorado, when I read shit like that from the county commissioners, they're gonna, you're food. You're gonna get hit again. You got hit in 2021. You got hit over the weekend. You're gonna get hit again because there's sleeper cells here. And you've awakened them now. You issue statements like that. They laugh at you. They think you're dumb as fuck because you are. You're gonna get capped. And this time it won't just be Molotov cocktails from a crazed lunatic from Egypt and his ridiculous free Palestine screaming on Pearl Street. It's going to be much worse because they know they can get away with it, because they know that even when they're caught, you're missing the point with these people. This is a 3,000-year-old fight between the sons of Abraham, the sons of Ishmael, and the sons of Isaac. You don't get it. You will. Because you're food. Lather up in barbecue sauce. Because you're going to get hit again. Because you're fucking retarded. You're food. You're food.
Yep. I'm going to show a little bit more on this Columbia thing. It looks like a definite hit. It did catch the guy. Let me get the right screen up here. I'm bringing this over here. And maybe at the top. I'm not at the top. Let me scroll to the top. Well, I'll show the part where they did catch him. This is where they caught him. So, look at, they're kneeling on his neck. Someone kneeling on his neck. And this looks like a definite paid hit job. Definite paid hit job. At least one of them. It's ridiculous. You have a good candidate, a Trump-like person there running for office, and people want that, you know. Then you have to have this 55. There's some other, a little longer version of this. I gotta find it here. I did see it. Yeah, okay. Let me enlarge this one.
El principal problema en Bogotá y Colombia.
Look how many shots they're getting off. That's what you get when you got gun control. Other people get injured here. Alan, you think that's a 12 gauge? You think it's a shotgun? That's a 12 gauge. Yeah, a few minutes or so. That was it.
Muy malo. Malo o no. Muy bravo. Tienen mamados, malparidos. Estamos mamados.
Unbelievable. Someone, who was it, was saying it was 12 gauge? Dan, was it? I thought that was a 12 gauge. Oh, Alan. Alan was saying that was a 12 gauge, maybe. That's the longer version of it. This is where they were all back. I think I played a little bit of this before. I don't know. What do you think would have happened if Trump would have been assassinated back in August or whatever? Because they tried it. They tried it here. They tried to get someone to do it. See that he's wounded pretty bad there. There's no saving him, I don't think. I don't know if they have someone to take his place that could win. They can't cheat enough to win an election like she did. That's what they do with their commies. All right, let me. I knew there was another clip here somewhere. Here's some pictures. Oh, there is another clip right here. That's a little short. That's just happening. Here's a report. I don't know if it's going to be in Spanish. So.
Vean, lo ven ustedes en imágenes después de haber sido estabilizado en una
I'll play a
unidad de
little
cuidados
bit of this tomorrow. I
intensivos.
plan to be
Ya
on
se
about
alista
3
todo para su
p.m.
traslado a otro
Eastern
centro médico de
tomorrow.
mayor
A couple
complejidad
people
debido a
coming
la
on
gravedad
about
de
the
las heridas
whole
que
Elon
sufrió.
Musk
También tengo que contarles que en este momento el ambiente es tenso.
feud thing.
Aquí a las
Yeah.
afueras de la clínica
Some
llegó
people have,
una comunidad
some
bastante grande y la
information on
policía
that.
intenta retener los que quieren aquí
I assume
ingresar
they're
y
getting them
están
there with the
protegidos
ambulance.
estado
Let's see
de
if
salud.
they take them out of
Cualquier
there.
novedad que se pueda dar con este traslado, ya sea lista todo, también llega
Get them out of
más
the
seguridad
back of the
para
thing
este
quicker.
traslado,
I don't know how
para
good their
este
health care
traslado
is
de
there.
Miguel Uribe.
I don't know. That's the one we've seen. That's the one we've seen. Thought there was one more I didn't have yet. That's all pictures of it. Let me enlarge this one. I don't know who this is. It looks like they're shot. Oh, he's handcuffed. I bet you it's the shooter. Some college kid's age person. It looks like so, I don't know. Yep, that's what it must be. Looks like he's smiling. Not in that picture. The other one.
Chicho, estamos sacando la ambulancia. ¡Vamos, Miguel! ¡Vamos, presidente!
I'm wondering if the people responsible for this
¡Vamos, presidente! ¡Vamos, presidente!
Okay. Well, I guess I'll get back if I don't see anything else here. If anyone else knows any more about this, let me know. I'll close that. Bring up the next video. So tomorrow I should be on at 3 p.m. Eastern.
So, Karine Jean-Pierre is now leaving the Democrat Party and she's going independent. And she just published her first
I was
book.
going to say that because she's making her money.
Oh my gosh! These fucking assholes, bro. Look, I'm trying to stop cussing. Lord knows I go to church every Sunday. Jesus loves me. I have a wonderful pastor now after just not going for a long time. I'm so happy. But you know what? This is righteous indignation. I have had it. First, Jake Tapper. Now, Karine Jean-Pierre. What's next? What's next, Karine Jean-Pierre? What? Your mixtape? What? You gonna be selling your mixtape out the trunk of your car? What? A podcast? What? Who's next? Y'all have spent the last 4 years absolutely. It's worse than lying. It's just like it's all an act, like all of it. All the world is a stage. Who said that? P.T. Barnum? I don't know. It's all an act. Like, I don't know where Hollywood ends and DC begins. Why not? AOC was hired by Justice Democrats. She was recruited. They did a casting call for a person to run for Congress to replace 10-term solid blue Democrat Joe Crowley in the 14th District of New York. They found occasional Cortez or Sandy Cortez or whatever, because, you know, apparently now she's Hispanic when she used to be a white girl from Westchester. Anyway, why? Now it's Karine Jean-Pierre, who I didn't know. Every day you stood up there and you said, well, I just met with the president. You did not fucking know that he was demented. Look, I don't believe nothing y'all say. Joe Biden been dead for like 4 years. I don't know who that dude is. Remember when they carted out that one dude who was like 20 feet tall? Like 6 feet taller than Jill Biden. Remember that shit? Remember that? I think that might have been right after the debate. Remember that? Yeah, my eyes don't deceive me, bro. I know I should wear my glasses sometimes, but I'm not the only one who noticed. Y'all brought out this dude that's like 7'2", like looking like Yao Ming up in here, and y'all think we don't notice this shit? This is not the 80s, dude. This ain't the 70s where you could just like push this narrative. Dude, we are in the information age. We're in the digital age. This is AI, man. This is the age of AI. Y'all, look, y'all have pulled off the biggest okie doke in the history of the world. That dude has been dead for 4 years. I'm not kidding, bro. Look, Karine Jean-Pierre stood up there every day. Oh, I just left the president. I talked to the president. When Peter Doocy would grill her about his condition, that's impossible. He is in tip-top shape, and I just talked to the president, and he's fine, and he runs circles around me, and he's chasing me around the Oval Office, and I fell, and he... Never mind. You bitch! You fucking tether! You foreigner from hell who try to come here and blend in with regular FBAs. We gave you everything, and this is how you treat us? You danced on the porch from Massa? You deceived everybody? Well, not those of us who are awake. You stood up there and you flat out lied for 4 fucking years. Well, right after Peppermint Patty, I guess she got done lying, so she just had went to MSDNC or NBC to a show with ratings so low that they had to get rid of her funny looking ass. Do you think you can just do this anymore? that you can just continually lie to people, and then you just come out like, oh my gosh, I'm glowing up. This is the new me. I'm an independent now. I don't even like Democrats. Bitch, you were a Democrat 2 weeks ago. Now all of a sudden you're an independent? Anybody, and I mean anybody, who is associated with the Democrat Party, especially in the last 10 years, who claims to be something else, you're sus. And I don't believe a word you say. I think you're an operative. It's an op. You're playing two sides against the middle, and you're a phony as fuck. And I don't believe anything that Karine Jean-Pierre says. I never did. I don't now. And by the way, ho, I'm the real deal Holyfield. I'm the real Karen Jean. You're an imposter and a tether. And nobody's going to buy your stupid reveal all book. Fuck out of here with that. What in blue hell is Lindsey Graham, Sidney Blumenthal, and now Mike Pompeo doing over in Ukraine, cutting deals on Kodels, taxpayer funded, by the way? Lindsey Graham and his $800,000 a month hotel stay in Kiev, your car service, all your food, your lodging, you just keep swiping that government credit card. You know why you people continue to wage war? It's because you never sacrifice anything. Lindsey Graham stood up there at a podium the other day and said he's got a veto-proof plan to keep the war going because Ukraine. He literally said, just to keep the war going, we got to keep it going. We can't have peace. What are you talking about? Mike Pompeo, what are you doing over there? What are any of you doing over there? Did you talk to the president? Did you run this by the State Department and Senator Marco, I keep calling him Senator, Secretary Marco Rubio? Did any of you consult with the White House? Like, you just got up on your own and just took off with a taxpayer-funded private plane and a delegation to go over to a foreign country. Didn't y'all roll General Flynn up for Logan Act violations for a freaking phone call? What? 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 Oh my God. The other day, Ukraine, deep state, CIA, whatever, attacked Russia with advanced drones. Very interesting. Ukraine can't even feed the people, but somehow they have expensive, sophisticated military weaponry. That's interesting. I ride by the motor pools on base, and well, shit, everything's gone because it all went to Ukraine. So Lindsey Graham wants to keep the war going. There's a bunch of warmongering assholes in the background who want to keep the war going. But there are 77 million people in this country who voted against endless wars. One of them was me. You didn't sacrifice shit, Lindsey Graham. Why are you spending $800,000, over $1 million on hotels, hookers and blow, male and female, who knows? Knowing you people. We voted you out for a reason. And now you want to present some kind of, you think you're going to just come back here and sit in front of President Trump He just had to call Vladimir Putin, President Putin, earlier today to talk peace after your bitch ass stunt. You couldn't even pick up a grocery bag on your own, much less put on a 100-pound rucksack and fight a war. But you're quick to send other people to fight your wars. I'm a casualty of war, bitch. You took everything from me, all of you, the Dick Cheneys, the George Bushes, the Obamas, all of you who pushed wars, proxy wars, kinetic wars on foreign soil. But you sent soldiers, American soldiers, to fight for you, for your military industrial complex, for your military contractors, for your weapons contractors. I watched the movie Lord of War. Hollywood always tells us what they're doing. But I lived this. My family was destroyed when my husband died on active duty in the military. And you want to continue the wars while President Trump is brokering peace deals across the world? You are an asshole. You know what? My Cash App is on my page, Lindsey Graham, you motherfucker. You owe me. You all owe me. You owe me. You sanctimonious ass monkey. How dare you go behind the president's back, pretty much in his face, and say, nope, there's no peace to be had. No peace. We need to keep this war going. Ukraine. It's never going to end. We're just going to keep giving that little fat bastard the billions of dollars. Hell, we're still giving Afghanistan $40 million a week to the Taliban. You owe me. You, every one of you who took everything away from me, you owe me. You owe me. You owe me. You want to keep wars going? You need to answer to the Gold Star families. You need to answer to us. You owe me. Democrats have a huge problem. And it's a problem that's not going to be solved. The Daily Signal spells this out in a recent article that says Democrats plan to win back young men. Hilarity ensues, yes, because it's funny. It's absolutely funny and hilarious. Democratic Party strategists are hoping to win back young men through a new $20 million effort called Speaking with American Men. After spending the last 10 years since the Me Too movement, excoriating men and calling them everything but a child of God, now you want to win them back? Now you need them back. Now you figured that since such a high percentage of Latino men, black men, definitely white men, but men overall, voted for Donald Trump and the Republican Party because we're freaking sane. What? Now you need men again. What's being labeled a strategic plan is an attempt to, quote, study the syntax, language, and content that gains attention and virality in these online spaces. This shit is hilarious. The plan recommends buying advertisements in video games and cautions Democrats to, quote, shift from a moralizing tone. The plan raised some eyebrows after excerpts of it were published by the New York Times. Not least because the DNC recently announced it might be holding another election in June that could result in the ouster of the youngest male member of the leadership team. That would be David Hogg, who has been caught in a nice little video with James O'Keefe. Ooh, so it's probably not going to be him again. But this is funny. You could have given me that $20 million because I could definitely use it right now. I'm in a rental. I need a car. You are not going to win men. I don't care how many ads you put in video games and anime and porn. You're not going to win men. You people have sent the feminazi squad for the last 10 years to beat men into a bloody pulp and leave them laying lifeless on the floor. And now you need them back because there's such a huge voting base. God, you are the LBJ of the modern day. It just, the hilarity does not stop there, let me tell you. There is also this that I found very interesting. Libs of TikTok, thank you for this. Democrat activist Olivia Juliana is now advising Democrats how to win over young men. When I show you this thing, I'm going to prove the hilarity of all this. She says conservative men are pro-choice, pro-gay marriage, and pro-BLM.
The reason why Republican messaging resonates with men is because
Oh, sorry.
men want bad things, right? It's like men want to have sex and like own women, right? Like they want to dominate everybody. And Republicans say you get to do that, and then Democrats can't say that. So we just lost men. It's over, right? Like, what are you talking about? Like a lot of times it will be men that are.
This is
liberals
not
that
her.
Agree with that shit. I'm like, dude, what are you like? What is going
But
on?
look at this thing.
Like there's a lot of men.
She's
that don't
coming
think
up.
that way, obviously, and it's just such a negative view to take on like half
That's
the human
her.
race.
Well, I also think it's just so abundantly clear that the people who say these things don't actually spend time talking to young men. You know this because we know each other in real life, but I spend a lot of time on college campuses.
I bet you do,
And I
big
spend
un.
a lot of time
Loves
with
young men.
I love young men.
I bet you do,
I love
you
frat
big,
guys.
you
And
big
in that, I
Bremolo.
realize, like, even the ones that identify as conservative are almost always pro-choice. They're almost always pro-gay marriage. You'd be surprised at the number of them who supported Black Lives Matter. And so I feel like people just kind of lump them into this box when the truth is, again, a lot of them are with us on the issue.
Yeah, right. Conservatives for any of that stuff.
They're just not part of our coalition because they feel like they're not welcomed in it.
Yeah,
There's your expert on men. That big tubblard ass Bremolo who supposedly goes on college campuses because she loves young men. You can't say that. You can't. What? She probably ate them all. Somebody better put out a damn APB on these poor kids. Jesus Christ. What is that big thing? She's an expert on men. You know what? That's low-hanging fruit. And I got to go to church on Sunday. I'm not even going to tell my pastor I said something about this big hoe. She's the expert on men. She is the Democrat Party's expert on. Y'all lost for just that reason. You have no idea. And no, conservative men do not support BLM. Conservative men do not support gay marriage. Y'all could have just gave me that $20 million. My Cash App is on my page. Fuck this. These people won't.
They are nuts. They are nuts. All right, I'm going to end it there because it's so late and everything. I had a couple more, but that's okay. I'll play them on the next time I do a best of. All right, take care. God bless everyone. I should be on tomorrow about 3 p.m. Eastern. give or take a little bit. And we're going to be talking about the Elon Musk stuff, a little bit more about Colombia and things like that, what's going on down there, and politics in general. All right. Take care. Bye-bye.